if, as you say, we've done all the right things, can you explain why we currently have the worst death rate in the world? And can you explain why we have one of the highest death tolls in the world? If we did everything right, how have we ended up here?
Well, as I say, we've been learning throughout this process, working with scientific advisors on trying to take the appropriate policies. There'll be a variety of reasons why people, unfortunately, have died due to this. Some of that will be recognising the age of our population. Some of that will be recognising the obesity of our population. But we've been learning throughout how we can improve the different ways of trying to help people during this. You know, at the same time, I'm very conscious of the economic impact it's had, particularly on young people. That's why we are trying to do what we can with education. It's why we've created Kickstart. It's why we're trying to make it
but just to clarify, given you've now given,
to get involved.
Listen, I applaud you for giving us some reasons, because none of
that's the first time we've heard a government minister settle on a couple of explanations.
Right, none of your colleagues last week could give us any. So you've given us two now: ageing population and obesity. So are you saying that the reason for us having the worst death rate in the world is because of the public? They're too old and they're too fat.
I think that's a very insulting thing that you've just said.
You just said it.
I'm conscious that there's a variety of factors which will have led to people, sadly, being ill during this time, sadly, that translating into deaths. I'm conscious that this is a very serious impact. Our own Prime Minister was in hospital in intensive care himself last April. I'm conscious that we are wanting to make sure we have a wraparound support.
Sorry, what did you find insulting,
we have done
Ms. Coffey? Out of interest, what did you find insulting? You said two reasons for the fact we have the worst death.
I also need to point out that you started this in too late. Unfortunately, I have to go to other broadcasters as well. And I wish that we'd had more time when we were. Well,
you can come back any time. We haven't seen you.
I appreciate that.
I haven't interviewed you since May, so you can come back any time. It was you that boycotted the programme, right? So please don't play. Please don't play the "you haven't given me enough time" card, because we gave you 8 months and you didn't turn up.
Let me ask you this. Much for this.
Yeah, but
we were due to start at 8:15.
I understand it.
I'm really excited about the opportunities for Kickstart for young people.
I understand.
But I'm sorry, Piers. I'm going to have to go to another broadcaster.
I just wanted you to clarify, given you said I was insulting.
Piers, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go.
You're going to go. You're not going to explain why you think I was the one insulting.
We've already had 20 minutes of my time. I appreciate your time as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow. OK. Thank you, Ms. Coffey. OK.
It's interesting because
she throws out...
She gives two very interesting
reasons. The 2 reasons why we have the worst death rate in the world, apparently, are we have an ageing population, so we're too old.
And we have an obesity
problem, we're too fat. And yet when I said so... It's the public's fault, then, is it? We're too fat and nothing to do with the government. I was the one insulting.
Just like to point out, after Prime Minister Boris Johnson emerged from hospital, having recovered from coronavirus, he himself had a press conference at which he said he had an underlying issue and said literally, I was too fat. So he grasped that particular issue early on.
Incredible she thinks I'm the insulting one, when the only reasons she could give as a government minister for why we have the worst death rate in the world are the age of our population and the fact we're too fat.
Dr. Hillary, is that the case, do you think?
I'm the insulting one, because nothing the government's done, despite the fact Matt Hancock in that clip we played told us we were well prepared for any kind of outbreak, and it turned out we weren't. But nothing the government has done is the problem. It's to do with our age and our weight.